Well, hello everyone, Texie88 here and welcome to another review. And now we're taking a look at Blue Max for the Sinclair ZX Spectrum. Released in 1984, published by US Gold. Oh dear. It came out for the Atari 8-bit and Commodore 64 and of course the ZX Spectrum, which is the version we're looking at here. It was only a 48K version. It wouldn't work. It wouldn't fit into 16K, and there was no 128K until a couple of years later. So, there, so I'm not expecting too much, particularly in the way of sound, as a result of that. So you play as you play as a pilot called Max Chatsworth, who's the titular Blue Max, and basically got to make a final assault on 3 specially marked targets within the city that you are, and you have only 1 aircraft and very little time to accomplish this most difficult of missions. So let's get our keys redefined. So it seems as if I is used to pause, so I can't use I. So I'll just use U and O instead of one. Okay. Now the control is you can either have normal or pilot, which means if you have pilot, it basically mean that down is up and up is down, just like if you were controlling a real airplane. If you pull down on the joystick, the nose tips up and your plane climbs. And G speaks for itself, switches gravity on or off. If you've got gravity off, then you don't have to worry about trying to counteract gradually falling if you don't the way you would if it was switched on. We'll try it off for the moment. I nearly said have it off. I can imagine a whole bunch of people laughing, but never mind. So here we go. Okay. Just building up my speed by holding down the fire button. Right, and now we're up in the air. And the first thing I note is that this really does remind me a lot of Zaxxon. And another thing I notice is that you do get the occasional bit of colour clash. And you've got a limited number of bombs. Well, I like the way that when you actually lay a bomb, it actually leaves a crater. And you got to worry about refueling as well. So I'm refueling because my fuel was getting low. I just got to wait for the fuel to build up a bit more. So the enemies you're trying to blow up have flashes on them, and I've got my maximum fuel. So, oh god, I couldn't. That's annoying. I couldn't get enough of a build up of speed. See what I mean? That bomb left a crater. Okay, so bombing leaves craters in the water as well, does it? Okay. Not because I'm sure that would happen in real life. Nah, it's a bit unfair to carp about that kind of thing. Right, I better land again. I'm getting a bit low on fuel. Hopefully, I've got a bit more of a run up. You may have noticed to the right of where it says Alt and Speed near the bottom left corner, you get large letters like L and W and the like. W is crosswind, L is landing gear down, plane P is enemy plane approaching, and R is runway approaching. Right, so let's get going again. Yeah, did it that time. Crosswind happening here. One thing is annoying is you have to press the descend button and fire to drop a bomb, and that's a bit of a pig because it means you're going to lower your altitude's going to lower. Right, I think I saw a flash there. I think I actually managed to hit one of the targets I was supposed to hit because I noticed there was a flash on them. Fuel does not drain very quickly in this. Oh, I took a hit there while it was thinking. Yeah, I wouldn't say this was amazing. It's basically Zaxxon, but not in space. And the fact that you're bombing doesn't really add a huge amount to the proceedings. And even though it tries to have this kind of 3D isometric look about it, I don't think it's quite as convincing as the one in Zaxxon. It's got this sort of flat-edged horizontal look, which kind of ruins the effects. It's kind of hard to put into words, but I took. Get out of the way. So you have to get your speed above 100 before you can take off. Oh. Damn it, that was a flashing one. I missed that. Yeah, I noticed that my aeroplane's only got one blade for a propeller. I think I saw a flash there on that boat that I've just bombed. Oh, I got landing here. Better land again. Trouble. I kind of wish it would give you a bit more fuel because having to land this frequently is exceptionally tedious. Oh, great! Look at that. For some reason, it didn't want to land. It sort of. Oh god, I got bombed before I could even do anything. I'm not. I really want to enjoy this, but I just can't. It's just nothing compared to its inspiration, Zaxxon. This the colour clash is a bit ugly at times. Oh, missed. Oh, that was too early. It does make me laugh the way it did. No, missed. Yeah, you just got. I suppose with the aeroplane, you just got to hope that you're at the correct height in order to hit them, which is much easier said than done. Right, I got crosswind. Better refuel again. Does the fuel really have to drain that quickly? I mean, you literally really need to refuel absolutely every airfield you come to, otherwise you're just going to run out of fuel. Hang on. Darn it. And of course, if you accidentally take off too early in trepidation, then you blow up. Even though it doesn't look like you blow up. Which is what just happened there, in fact, when I just seemed to reset on the runway just then. Ooh, nice. Got that one. Another flashing one, perhaps? Oh, God, it's hard to get those lorries. Or whatever happens to be going on the bridge. I mean, it was a car last time. I know I can't really carp about the sound because it was 48k Spectrum. There was a limit. But I kind of wish there was a bit more sound than there actually is, because it. I've got to refuel for the umpteenth time. Right, I've topped up my bombs as well this time. And the F near the bottom right corner above the score is showing a fuel leak from presumably from hits that I took. Whenever it flashes red like that, then I've taken some damage. And the M is a decrease in manoeuvrability, and G, now I've got machine gun damage. Oh great! Now I basically practically powerless. Oh god! I can see the control of my plane is becoming increasingly choppy because of the damage to it. Yeah, it's not exactly slick, is it? I mean, admittedly, some of it's forced upon it because of the attribute limitations. Otherwise, they would have had to have kept everything in monochrome. I just noticed it was a bit jerky going down like that on there. That's probably what explains it. Last time I probably didn't notice the damage that I'd taken. Last time I was having trouble landing with it being all choppy the way it was. This is actually really quite dull. Even for a game from 1984. I'm just waiting for the. Yeah, all those letters in the bottom right corner have gone now. Come on. Just had enough runway to clear all that. Missed. I've taken some damage to my fuel tank again. Oh god, just missed. No. God, there's some tanks. Oh, I don't hit the tanks. Great. Taking some damage again. So of course I've got to land again. It's just so boring having to do all that again and again. And it actually doesn't say what B represents in the instruction. It's got F. Oh yeah, B is bomb gear damage. Sorry, it was just me looking in the wrong place. Oh dear. another problem with having to press the descend control as well as the fire button in order to drop a bomb is you can't shoot ahead of you while that's happening, which can leave you a bit vulnerable. I would have preferred it if there could have been a different keyboard control for that, especially when I'm actually using keyboard as I am now. Oh God, now I've taken lots of damage again. My machine gun's buggered again. Truth be told, I'm really not thrilled by this at all. The genuine Zaxxon's much better than this. This just doesn't do anything for me. It's bland and it's got some pretty bad colour clash, and it's not exactly slickly. Everything moves in a way that isn't. I'd hardly describe as slick, and I've just had a plane crash into me. I think I've had enough of that now, guys. So I think it's time for my final verdict. So that's Blue Max for the ZX Spectrum. Pretty underwhelming isometric shoot 'em up, really. Graphics, even for 1984, they don't really go beyond okay. They try to get in some colour, but some of the clash issues are a bit of a pain. And the overall scrolling's a bit choppy. Sound very minimal and very weak. I mean, I know it's 48K Spectrum, but come on, I've heard better sound effects come from that. I mean, I'm pretty sure that Spy Hunter came out around this sort of time, and that had much better sound on the Spectrum than this does. I mean, you just get, it's basically like someone's going every time something shoots, and there's not even a sound effect for exploding. When your plane explodes, it just suddenly becomes all pixelated. Not exactly convincing. Gameplay. Build up speed, take off, bomb whatever you can, lands to refuel and repair, take off, bomb what you can, shoot what you can, land, repair, rinse and repeat. Yeah, it's boring beyond belief, really, isn't it? There's just not enough to keep you engaged, and there's just not enough atmosphere. And the controls aren't, and the controls generally respond okay, except having to bomb is a bit of a pain when you have to press the descend control as well as fire in order to bomb. I would have preferred it if at least for keyboard control that the bombing could have been a separate button. I mean, yes, it would have been a faff if you were using a joystick, but when you're using keyboard control, I don't see why they couldn't have had that the bombing done as a separate button. And the fact that it originally retailed for £7.95, which would have been a huge amount for a kid back in 1984. So yeah, I think I'm going to give Blue Max for the ZX Spectrum 4 out of 10. There's just not nearly enough meat to it to keep you entertained for long periods. It's just a very weak Zaxxon wannabe. and even having the bombing added to it doesn't really add anything particularly exciting to the proceedings, when everything else about it just comes across as being so soulless. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that review. Catch you on another video soon. Texie88 out.